lovely professional university. And I've seen the education from the very early years of my youth. I've been associated with the university. It is started by my family. So I've been associated from the very, very beginning of my career, as well as even when I was studying. And I can tell you that this education sector has come a long way in India. I can see the education delivered by lovely professional university and many of our fraternity universities who are also part of this panel discussion to be of a global standard and also helping young India to be career ready. And I say career ready and not job ready because at LPU and I think at all the new age universities that are part of this panel, we think that every individual is different and their desire and dreams are different. Few wants to be entrepreneur, few want to study abroad, and few want to find a job. And all of us are trying to help the youth of India achieve that. While we all have seen the change in education sector that has led us to aspire to be Vishwa Guru, at least as mentioned in the National Education Policy released by Government of India. But one caution that has always been in the heart of all the education fraternity members that though the Government of India is doing their bit and the private universities and institutions are doing their own bit, but can there be a convergence where both public and private institutions can come together and probably do a bigger miracle which is possible or expected from the education sector of India? So today we are going to discuss the same in this afternoon session, which is the importance of collaboration between public and private sector in higher skill and technical education. And we also will try to explore the role of accreditation in enhancing quality innovation. And we have a very, very interesting panel today with us. So I will start with Dr. Vinod Bhardwaj,
Sure.
who's a veteran in this education sector. Let me ask Dr. Vinod on the collaboration that are possible on the skill development. And I've seen that a lot of work that you have done around is on the skill development. And there have been instances where the corporates have come together and started something on the vocational education. But I don't know how successful they have been. So if you want to share your experience of public-private partnership in this skill area and any example that you want to quote from the Rajasthan, where you hold a very important position. So, Dr.
Thank
Vinod.
you. Thank you, Dr. Aman. In fact, this is a good opportunity for me to showcase ourselves and really to look into that what we are doing and how can we get cooperation from other organizations, both from government and non-government organizations. This is really the platform which where I had been for last 4 years. I was participating in World Education Summits in Delhi and other places organized by Elets, and certainly we got good partners to get associated with our department and for various purposes. And so my experience and my interest to be here on this platform is to look into the various agencies who can come with us and can partner with us. So this is one. I'm the a small presentation I would like to share over here, which I prepared especially for this event. That what kind of partnership we are doing and what is our strength. Basically, what I found that when we talk about higher education, especially in context of the new education policy, a lot of debate is going on, and certainly there are so many firm ideas among the people that this policy can transform educational scenario in country, especially in different states. But so far as the state of like Rajasthan, a state like Rajasthan is concerned, much more cannot be expected without the means really cooperation and collaboration with the partner agencies and private partners especially. And so this is one idea behind. While I was looking into this means event, I found that there are opportunities uh, which we have to really access, and we have to find how can we get cooperation from different stakeholders and to facilitate particularly. the I'm trying. Just give me 1 minute, please, because this presentation is making some issue over here. Uh, just a minute. Yeah. So this is one small presentation. I would like rather I will go with that only so that I can share my. This is one our department. We are from Department of College Education, Government of Rajasthan, and I'm a state nodal officer of innovation and skill programs at the Commissionerate office in Jaipur. And what I feel with my own experience of 24 years in this system, and especially as a nodal officer of this program, that private-public partnership can change the face of higher education, not only in Rajasthan but in every state. I feel so, and that is a gateway to excellence in higher education. Basically, if we look into, then we find 8 points or 8 keynotes in higher education. That is higher education institutions, curriculum to be delivered, faculty members, delivery and methods of delivery, especially impact of education, capacity building through educational means of process and assessment. And last one is the certification. If we consider all 8 points, then all things, whether it is collaboration or anything else, that really comes around all these 8 points. So if we look upon the next point, sorry, then higher educational expectations, if we think upon, then there are three E. One is the enhancement, and what kind of enhancement we are looking into? That is the one, the knowledge enhancement, capacity enhancement, and efficiency enhancement. So this is expected from higher education by youth and society as well. Employability and empowerment. So empowerment in terms of economic and social empowerment we are concerned about, and people think about that higher education will definitely impact or change over in these areas. Then requirement for quality output, if we think upon, then quality education is the first means requirement if we really want quality output from higher education. We are talking about a lot about what can we change in higher education, how can we make the higher education viable and qualitative, but we are not much focusing upon the real ideas or real expectations or real needs behind. So quality education is first, efficient faculty, student-centric delivery approach, soothing learning-centric facilities in colleges and universities, appropriate institutional premises, students mentoring, employability enhancement efforts, and job connect programs are needed to make quality output out of this higher education system. And of course, resource support is above all. That is very much required to make all efforts or all initiatives meaningful. When we look into what has been done or what is being done means by different organizations and institutions to help, means from resource point of view, from faculty development point of view, from student centric approach as well, then certainly for infrastructure development, UGC, RUSA, state grants, and then bhamasa or CSR in case of Rajasthan. Bhamasa is a very proper word that is used for donors, so we are depending upon that. UGC now almost over in that way that the entire funding is flowing through RUSA. And the second part, the state grant, which is a part of RUSA, as well as some independent grants are being given in case of Rajasthan and other states as well. Then capacity building programs or FDP programs, if we look into, then we find that UGC programs like refresher or orientation programs are going on. Some programs are run by ICSR or Department of Science and Technology, and some more agencies are there which are funding for faculty development program or capacity building among teachers. Institutional, but in restricted mode, these programs are funded by these agencies. Means they have their own agenda. They have some agenda decided by the UGC, and this kind of trainings are to be imparted. But nobody is taking care about the really local needs of the systems. Like the university may have its own need for capacity building, and that kind of needs maybe in college education department as well. And institutional independence is also one, means some institutions are there which are independently taking care into about this faculty development program. Some private universities are organizing this kind of program, and but none bigger or means public sector organizations are taking care for their faculty in case of Rajasthan state. Private universities are definitely doing in that way. And so if we come upon the this part, so this is we find that it is limited initiatives, or these are the limited initiatives or limited effort being done by different sponsoring agencies or financial sponsoring agencies. Then if we analyze the entire scenario of higher education, particularly in the present context, then we find that there are directions and still dilemma is there. So what are the directions and what is dilemma over there? If we look into, then we find that all expected initiatives, whatever we are thinking about, quality education, faculty development, student-centric approach, hi-fi institutions and good infrastructure in the institutions, moral boosting, moral building, and all this, that kind of all things have been covered in new education policy 2020. We are thankful for that new NEP 2020 for to include all these. But and similar simultaneously, gaps in earlier NEPs, new education policies, have been underlined in NEP 2020. That's fine. But if we come to the means when we look into the NEP 2020, we find that there are two-tier roles. One, the apex institutions, like national institutions will take care, and then institutional role. What colleges or universities will perform, and what kind of institutions and colleges will be there. What is the role or the means function of the apex bodies have been defined, but the role of state, which is important in development of overall higher education therein in other states, is somehow not well defined. Goals are clear, but how to achieve is still awaited. Briefly, objectives, directions, algorithms, and target groups are available as per scenario, higher education scenario right now. But resources are missing, trainers are missing, spatial variations in approach of development, lack of exposure to attain expertness, and different job roles and engagements of working HR, means those who have been working in universities and colleges. Their job roles are different, and different expectations are means laid down in policies and in our initiatives. So there is a mismatch. That kind of mismatch is there. So and when if we look upon the overall scenario, then we find an interim conclusion is interim conclusion is needs, requirements, and tasks are there, but no funds, no resources, and no expertise HR. These are we are lacking funds, resources, and experts, but we have needs, requirements, and tasks. They are clear. So there is a gap. Ultimately, there is a gap, and how to fill it up. So here the role of collaboration and private-public partnership starts as resources are there, analytical planning approach is there, technically expertise HR is there, consistency in work is there, team working efficiency and goal achiever capacity is there in private organizations or even different government organizations as well, but they are non-teaching organizations at all, which we are concerned about. Core areas of collaboration we look upon the need-based teachers training, employable skills, skilling of youth by one-to-one training or online courses, e-contents and delivery, IT facilities to assist deprived recipients. We are talking about much more about online contents, e-contents, but how much e-content is being accessed by the youth? Because they much of the in case of Rajasthan, if I particularly I talk about a larger proportion is not having no access to these contents because they don't have resources. Now, how to manage this thing that we assure the delivery or the reach of these e-contents to the youth or the beneficiaries? Then certainly it's a big task. And here we look for the role of private organizations or the other organizations, competitive efficiency, beautification of campus and facility development. These are core areas where partnership is expected particularly. Then our strength, if we as a part of the Department of College Education Rajasthan, if I say mention over here, we have 332 government colleges in Rajasthan having 4.5 lakh students. We have 1850 private colleges having around 8 lakhs students in those colleges. We have 1406 teacher training colleges including B.Ed, M.Ed, B.Ped, M.Ped having approximate 1 lakh students. And thus we are serving to 13.5 lakh students in Rajasthan, and these are the regular students of these institutions, both government and private colleges. Sir,
Dr. Vinod, I'll take a. I mean, I would request if you can
last
finish your
last
presentation in the
last
next
two slides
couple of
last two
slides, please.
slides only. Our recent partnership 2018-19 MOU with 19 organizations we signed, including agency IGNU, Microsoft, RISU, Morarka Foundation, Hikvision, and Elets. And in 2020-21 also we have signed 8 MOUs with RISU, Triple IT Kota, Morarka Foundation, Bose, etc. Like this organization, we have already signed some MOUs, and our MOUs are particularly for skilling, educational quality enhancement, and health awareness. And the last slide is more areas of skill training and employment connects are still awaited, and so we are looking for more organizations to get associated with us. Then teachers training for quality enhancement and administrative efficiency, development of IT infrastructure and other facilities, and institutional qualitative upliftment. These are some areas. E-content provision and storage delivery. These are some areas where we are looking for still
Thank you.
partnership with government and private organizations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod, for giving us the insight into the Rajasthan story, and I'm sure it's a very interesting story. So, I have a very interesting question for Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who is the Vice Chancellor of the World University of Design, Sonipat. Dr. Gupta, you know your university is established in Rajiv Gandhi Education City, which is a public-private partnership model which has come up, which the Haryana government came up with. Uh, so I don't know if it is appropriate, but I want to say that do you get enough support as you were expecting being part of such a education city which was designed for public-private partnership? And also my second question would be that I mean if a similar model has to be replicated in Punjab or any other state, what would be your recommendation? Because I think it's one live public-private partnership model which is existing, and we have with you with us who is already part of this story. So, Dr. Gupta.
Uh, Thank you, Aman, for posing this rather difficult and putting me in a spot here.
That was not the intent.
Rajiv Gandhi Education City has in recent times seen many institutions of eminence which has come up, including the IIT Delhi Sonipat campus, including the National Law University, Ashoka University, SRM, ourselves. So there are 5 full-fledged big university within few meters of each other, few hundred meters of each other. And if we were to look at the corresponding facilities, I really have not seen any development so far in the last 5 years. I have been there. So barring the construction which is going on for a police station and a fire station, I don't think I have seen anything at all happening there. So, but I have gone through the original plans, and the plans looks wonderful. And if we could have seen some development, even a fraction of what was envisaged, then this would have been a really lively hub of students and academic community all being together, sharing common facilities and sharing common goals and even targets, just to say. And the student harmony of 5 different kind of universities sharing public spaces, sharing facilities would have been something phenomenal, which unfortunately has not happened. And this is something which the area, in fact, continues to be a little, secluded, with all 5 of us being in our own campuses by and large. So I would say that it started with a good aim. A lot could have been done, and a lot could still be done, and in a very quick manner. It needs a bit of attention from the government, which I think may start coming, because now I think we have enough bandwidth in terms of number of students and everything in the one location. So I'm really hoping that something would start happening soon. You had another.
Sorry. So I was saying that now every institution is building their own infrastructure, their own auditorium, their own playgrounds, which were supposed to be shared. I mean, is
yes,
that
it was supposed to be shared. They were common. Yeah.
So, but now if something similar has to come into Punjab or some other states, what would be a recommendation? What do you say that to both government and to the private players? I mean, as a
See, I don't think there are any specific new guidelines, because in plan, what was envisaged here is also very good, right? And if the implementation is not happening for some reasons, which I am perhaps not privy to, there may be a reason. But if the government has a good intent and the PP partnership works well, then it's a good model.
Okay. So the point that you're making is that's a good public-private model, but if the intent was also good, but I think the implementation is something which it could be improved. Probably it's a pretty good model to
Yes,
replicate.
it is stalled for some reasons. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So I would like to request Dr. Shrihari Prakash Honwad ji, who's the president of Sir Padampat Singhania University, Rajasthan. I mean, sir, your university has been established by a corporate group. JK Cement is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, which I understand is the JK Cement who's behind this university. And there are not many examples of corporate like JK Cements who have come across to set up a university. So do you think that uh, that any information that you would like to share about when a corporate is thinking about a university, how different it is from an academician or a person from other walk of life establishing the university, and are you looking at any public partnership per se right now?
Well, let's be clear about a couple of things. JK Cements indeed has established this university. They have put in the entire, the capital required for establishing the infrastructure, the land. In fact, they even support us in case of any shortfall in terms of our expenses. But JK Cement being a corporate, the one big advantage we get is the corporate discipline when it comes to planning, in the processes of expenditure, everything comes in. And when you need, the entire JK Cement family is available to you to support, not just JK Cement, but also by implication, the network and the individual senior people in JK Cement and their network, they become available to you in many forms. But we function as a university under the Rajasthan Government Act, which has made us the university, and we are subject to the same kind of travails which any other private university in India faces. So we are very much looking for interaction with other industries. As a university, we have to build our own portfolio. JK Cement is there to support, give a lending hand wherever there is a gap. But what we do will be happening on our own merit. Having said that, let me put two things why anybody should look for private and public interactions. Why should public institutions look for interacting with private universities? I have a very small story, if you bear with me. It's about a farmer who developed a wonderful seed, yeah, and which he would sow in his land. And he was very generous, and he gave all his neighbors the same seed, whoever wanted. And everybody came and said, "You have put in so much of effort in developing. Are you giving it away free of charge?" In fact, he would even go to other neighbors who were not asking for that seed and recommend them that, "See, look, I have this seed, extra seed. Why don't you use it?" The farmer's reply was, "See, all my plants are going to be cross-pollinated in this area. The pollination is not going to be controlled by, the revenue department records." And he said, "If I have very good plants all around me, my farm also will grow better." I think that is a big, big plus for public universities, because whether it's a public university, public institution, and in general the public organization, all of us, public or private, our ultimate goal is nation building. We are creating the next generation who will be the leaders, and they may come For example, in IITs, it's already happening. It's been happening for decades now. All their masters and PhD students are coming from these the private institutions. So it's very important that you ensure quality in private institutions, because that's what is going to be pollinating your field tomorrow. So that's why they should do it. Why we should do it? Look, it's very simple. Let's compare our fees with the amount of money spent per student in a government institution, say IITs or even MNITs or even universities, government universities. That comparison will tell you why public universities have this great advantage of being able to put in that kind of efforts in terms of both infrastructure as well as research and faculty, attracting faculty, so many other things. While many of private universities are doing very well in many of these areas, I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea to really, because our entire source of income, whether we are the JK Cement is going to support you or not support you, you have to be, well governed and well established. You have to have a revenue model which makes both your ends meet. It's not as if JK Cement would like this to be a sink where they'll continue to put in money year after year and any amount of money. That's not going to happen. If we grow more, I'm sure the JK Cement will be putting more money to support many more activities. Otherwise, they will be, forced to minimize the amount of money they put in if we are not doing well. I think this collaboration is one way of utilizing the taxpayers' money uniformly across public and private institutions, because our end goal is creating the citizen of India for tomorrow. I think these are the two things which I would like to put. So everybody, whether is public or private, must look for collaboration, must see that there is some advantage that can come out of this, and we are able to overcome the difficulties which in some form or other every private institution is going to be experiencing when it comes to accreditation, because accreditation bodies look for performance, equivocal performance in all areas of a university is supposed to function. I think this is very, very important for a private university to go in collaboration. It will improve your pedigree, it will improve your quality, it will improve your access to funds if the collaboration is in funded research projects, etc. And it will give access to great places of study for even your students. And this collaboration can be multifold, and some of it has been envisaged in terms of, say, credit transfers or short-term courses, faculty-student movement across universities. What has been observed, I mean, what has been proposed even in NEP, I think it's all pushed towards getting maximum benefit to the next generation. I think that's once we have that in our mind,
Thank you, Dr.
the picture becomes absolutely clear.
Thank you, Dr. Honwad. At Lovely Professional University, the story that you've told, I mean, we also tell this similar story or the same story to our students, because they at LPU, our students are coming from different universities, different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and also different domains. So we are a multi specialized university. So we say that it's very important that all the programs are taught to the absolute great quality, because then only this cross pollination will take place, and the bouquet should look great. I mean, it's not about one flower; it's a whole bouquet that should look great. So thank you for sharing that story and putting that point so gracefully. My next question is to Professor Dr. Kuncheria P. Isaac, Director General, XIME Group of Institutions. I mean, sir, you have been into your institutions have been doing a lot of great work in the management domain, and there's a lot of institutions all across India. As I understand, there are 4 to 5 institutions across India in the management domain under the XIME. So just wanted to understand that management has never been one domain where where the public partnership has really come forward. I mean, there has been a skill development program by Government of India, where they have gone to the organizations and partnered with Maruti or other automobile companies, or also the electronic companies. But management has not been really covered in the public-private partnership. So do you think that there's a scope, and if yes, what are the areas on which this public-private partnership models can come up? Dr. Isaac.
Thank you, Dr. Aman, for a wonderful question. But I really find, I do not know how to answer your question first. See, the thing which you have asked is that there is a private-public partnership which is happening in skill development. I too agree that with the National Vocational Education Framework has come up. See, there is something which is an essential component of skill development. This public-private partnership is happening. But this public-private partnership is not happening to that extent in other education fields other than the vocational education. The issue here is probably the industries are not coming closer with the academic institutions. From time immemorial, we have been telling that we should have industry institute partnership, which is not happening. Which is happening. So, but of late, we should be happy that some of the industrial giants have started education institutions, and one example which you have already now shown with the JK Cements, and there are so many other things like HCL, Bennett Coleman, and so many. Even Reliance starting. So we have now that culture is coming up in that. So even when a few years back, also the AICT has also given a policy saying that any industry which is coming up and starting educational institutions will have certain advantages over a private entrepreneur coming and starting an educational institution. So why this management area is not happening is a question, because it's a question which I do not know how to answer, because I have been basically with the AICT or with the technical institutions as a vice chancellor, and this is my first posting as into the management area. So, but actually, this management institute should have been coupled with some industry, so that some industry institute interaction. This is not public-private one which is happening here. This is something which is required in case of management institutes, is that it should be blended, or it should have some more collaboration with the industries, because the management institutes are producing graduates for the industries to be managed efficiently. See, if you look at the public-private partnership, or how the government will have to be part of this, I will give you one or two other things which probably will be helpful. See, one thing which I wanted to tell is that first thing which I wanted to tell is about the national education policy. If you look at the national education policy, the national education policy envisages that there should not be any discrimination between the government, private, public, and things like that. Every institution should be treated as one, right? The second point probably which is to be addressed in the national education policy is that the number of institutions in India is so large in number, like 40,000, 50,000 colleges and universities together. This number will have to come down to, let's say, 10,000. How will it happen? So for that, we should have acquisition and mergers to happen. So how that acquisition and merger has to happen is something which I have to do. So here is a policy formulation, or something which has to happen, that a government institution can really collaborate, or have some kind of an understanding which will happen in the administrative level and the financial level, so that they two work together. And so how that has to be happen, how this merger and acquisition will happen. How the government institutions will support the private institutions in that respect is something which has to be evolved over a period of time. The third point which I just wanted to tell is that AICT has got a policy, a scheme which is called Margadarshan, wherein a government institution which is accredited can adopt 10 institutions, 10 private institutions or any institution, and mentor them so that they can also get accreditation. So the government pays about 50 lakhs to the mentoring institution so that they mentor about other 10 institutions. So this is something which is a collaboration can happen. Similarly, in the morning, some discussions also, I just happened that the CSR component of the industries will have to be put into that. See, if you look at an institution as an individual institution, it is something like a sailing ship, right? We have started an institution, somebody has started an institution with a view that some basic infrastructure is built. You will find that there are deficiencies, he is correcting it, and he is trying to grow. So there are three elements. Somebody has started an institution, he has that deficiencies which he is correcting it. Over and above that, he is trying to grow. On this path of growth, you will find that, assume that this is a ship which is floating, right? So if the ship is floating, he has to grow, and as an individual, thinking that he should reach a self-esteem level or a self-actualization level. So self-esteem means others will have to respect us. Respect of others and respect by others. So these are things which you expect when you become a self-esteemed person. So similarly, all these institutions will have to reach to that level, which can happen only through an accreditation process, or the moment you get a higher level of ranking, you will really reach that level of esteem high self-esteem or self-actualization. So to reach that level, you require a lot of things to happen. See, I would like to tell you that in 2014, I remember as a member secretary of the ICT, I signed the regulation. Yeah, I was very happy to do it at that point of time to make the accreditation as a mandatory thing for all the institutions across the country. But from 2014 to 2020, 6 years have gone. It's happening, but still a long way to go. So how do you reach the level of accreditation and the ranking part by, see, this can happen only through a process by which you will have to grow. How do you grow? See, this requires a support from, so the point which I was trying to tell is that it can happen. If you want to grow, the acquisition and merger will have to happen. And there have to be a hand holding with the government, with the industries, which will have to help in a larger extent for the growth to happen, so that from 40 to 50,000 level, these institutes will have to come down to a 10,000 level, and each institution performing at the level of a good university, which you say that it is better in terms of accreditation. The accreditation is the first phase where you reach, and then the ranking is the second step where you will reach. So this is
Dr.
something
Isaac,
which has to happen. Right.
I will come back to you on that accreditation point a little later. Yeah. So thank you for making a point. But I would like to quickly go to Mr. Indranil Bose, the Dean of School of Business, University of Bolton, UAE. I mean, he's coming with a very different perspective. You know, you have a University of Bolton, which is UK university, and now you're heading the business department in their UAE campus. So when you talk about the collaboration with the government or collaboration with the industry, what is the viewpoint that's come from the UK, and how you're trying to adapt in the UAE environment, and you coming from the Indian pedigree? So how do you club all of this together to come up to the expectation of the UK, UAE government, and taking the Indian pedigree forward or Indian experience forward.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm audible. I think everybody can hear me. So, see, I was patiently listening all the speakers and everybody. Few things I'm telling you, like when you're talking about collaboration. When I'm talking about the UAE context, UAE, first of all, collaboration between the private and the public sector in higher education in UAE. It is at the matured stage, I'm telling you, because if you look at the UAE, there are different free zones created by the UAE government, I mean, different emirates. Like presently, I'm working in the University of Bolton. We have the campus in the Ras Al Khaimah. It is the northernmost emirates of UAE. We are bordering with Oman. And there are mainly 4 major emirates who have the concentration of the higher education from different countries. I mean, universities are coming to set up their campuses in UAE from different countries. I'm presently telling there are approximately 200 private and the public sector institutions of higher learning are located in UAE. And mostly those are in Dubai. And in Dubai, that is, there are some bodies like KHDA, DISC. KHDA is Knowledge and Human Development Authority. Then DI, Dubai International Academic City, where I'm presently staying. That is in Ras Al Khaimah. We have the Ras Al Khaimah Education City. We are here. So these are all infrastructures have been developed by the government themselves. Okay, and all the infrastructure are quite fantastic examples. I mean, say in Ras Al Khaimah, it is a small emirate. It's not a big emirate like Dubai. Okay. Now, first of all, when you are having the say in Ras Al Khaimah itself, there are 5 universities and the institutions of higher learning. So one is ours, one is American University of Ras Al Khaimah, one is Higher College of Technology that is run by UAE government. Then another is the University of Stirling, University of West London. Earlier we had the university of, say in India, BIT Mestra campus was there. They have closed the campus recently. So these are the campuses we are having here. Now, what actually is the requirement here? First of all, to get the license from the Ras Al Khaimah Academic Zone, Ras Al Khaimah Authority, you have to get the license from here. Okay, and initially, if you do not have your own campus, you can hire the infrastructure provided by the government, because government has created infrastructures to run your campus initially to run for 2 or 3 years. Okay, like they will be giving you the big classroom facilities and office spaces, parking spaces, everything is there. I mean, okay. Now, after some time, after 2 years and 3 years, if your admission is viable, everything is good, and you can come up with the new campuses. We have 2 central hostel facilities where the students from all the universities, they can stay, okay, by paying their fees. So big hostels are there. There's a common facilities. We have the sports area, we have the stadium, everything for their people. I'm staying here. I mean, the universities, and those facilities can be shared by the students of all the universities here. And apart from that, there's a physical part. Now, when I'm talking about getting the permission from the proper authorities in UAE, what is required? All the courses, mainly the British courses, I'm telling you, UK courses, because we are running the UK universities based in the Greater Manchester, our main campus. So I'm just telling you a simple example how they actually run. You can understand. See, our university has 21 campuses across the globe. Okay, we are one of them. And see, we are the second largest campus, and the largest campus outside UK is in Greece, in Athens. Okay. Now, so what is the main thing? See, the main purpose is that the British government and their universities, they want to expand their footprint across the globe. Okay, so what I think Indian universities can do also, because a lot of good universities in India, they also have the campus outside, like IMT Dubai, IMT Ghaziabad has a campus in IMT Dubai, BITS Pilani has a campus in Dubai, and they're doing very well. MIT is doing as the campus in Dubai, Manipal University has a campus in Dubai. They're doing very well, pretty well. Okay, IMT, and they're hiring the faculties from India also and abroad also, and they're going for large scale collaboration and other things. Now, see, the main thing is this: see, when you are coming up with the campuses in Dubai, most of the UK universities, what they do, their degrees and their curriculum must be say approved and accredited by different bodies. Okay, and their courses, bodies like, say, I'm telling you a simple example, say here, most of the courses run by the UK universities in Dubai, in UAE, like I just mentioned few universities name. Dubai, you have the Middlesex, you have the Heriot-Watt, you have the University of Birmingham. Many other universities are there. Okay, University of Sussex, all these universities are there. Now, when they're coming up the campuses, citizen campuses, different programs, curriculum, of all of their courses have to be approved by the OFQUAL, Office of the Qualification. That is the part of the Home Ministry of the UK government. And apart from that, all the courses must be regularly audited by the QA. QA is very important body. I mean, which actually regularly every 3 years they conduct the auditing of the courses. Now, because when you talk about the private and the public level partnership in UAE or in UK or wherever, so any course if you want to study, I mean, start in UK, in UAE, in the UK universities, the same curriculum, the same program, everything has to be taught here, which is taught in the main campus. That is their first criteria. We cannot start our own program here like that. Okay, say, take example, say we can design our own courses here in UAE. That's why, yes, we can modify the courses according to the local requirement, but the most of the courses have to be in the line with the quality requirement of the UK. And if all of the courses, because when you talk about the partnership of the with the private sector or other sectors, see, most of our degree programs are properly mapped with the different professional bodies, so that when the students actually come out from the courses globally, they don't have the problem of getting the employment. Like, say, take example, I'm giving, say, in our in UK curriculum, they have the different level system. Like in India, we say the first year, second year, third year in bachelor's degree or master's degree, like that. They also have the same system, but they have the level 4, level 5, level 7. That is the first year, second year, third year. Then level 7 is the MBA degree, something like that. And when you are talking about that, for each level of courses, every specialization areas, like say human resource management. Now, when you design our courses, those courses have to be developed jointly and mapped jointly with the CIPD. CIPD body is, that is a British body, because CIPD is the chartered qualification of the British Parliament. But CIPD is one of the world's richest and the most progressive area in the human resource management. Many of you know might be. Now, CIPD actually give the input what kind of thing we should incorporate in our course curriculum, in our learning outcomes, in our assessment criteria, in our indicative content, in our research materials. CIPD actually gives the input not only to us, all the UK universities. Okay. Now, when you talk about the CIM, like except for the marketing professionals, marketing specialization, they have the CIM. CIM is the chartered body in the area of marketing, chartered institute of marketing. Like for, say, computing courses, they have the British Computing Society. So this kind of different mapping and the collaboration are there, and accordingly we design our courses. And for that, when we map our courses, we have to send our course proposal from UK. Sometimes we send it from here also, which is applicable for our campus. Might be some of the units of the modules we are going to say offer to the students, which are more relevant to the UAE context. Okay. Now, see, I'm taking one example, like the software engineering is not that popular in UAE. You know, that is very popular in India, maybe. Now, but maybe say artificial intelligence application of that is very important. Is this very? I mean, the job demand is very high in UAE, because entire UAE governance is based on the you can say mostly online things and artificial intelligence. Everything is there. I mean, governance is completely in governance sort of thing is there. Okay, because large number of people are staying here, are coming from other countries, so everything is like that. Now, for that, job opportunities for the artificial intelligence graduates, something like that, see, those are very important. And for that, what we require, we can modify some of our courses along with the requirement of the Ministry of XIME or the Dubai or the federal government of UAE, and we send this proposal to the UK, and they approve it, and that we offer. So infrastructure-wise, that one. So a lot of things actually do. Collaboration is very much there. And it is actually, I mean, regularly is a continuous process, and we can say like.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. Thank you, Dr. Bose, for giving us the UAE perspective, and I hope you, I mean, it's doing great. So going ahead, because we have to wind up in the next 5-6 minutes, I want to touch upon a very interesting the last topic, which is about the accreditation. And I'll request everybody to spare just a minute on your turn on to put your thought on this thing. You know, we have ranking, we have accreditation, we have a regulation. You know, there's too many things coming on the plate. What do you think, that we should have all three of it, or we should have only accreditation or only ranking? What's your viewpoint? I mean, I would request everybody to quickly give their 1 minute on this particular area. So I'll go with Dr. Vinod first. So Dr. Vinod, are you there? If you can quickly spend just 1 minute on this particular topic.
Sorry, can you repeat yourself?
So we have
Hello?
my question is that no, we have accreditation, we have regulation, we have ranking. Do you think all of them should be there, or we should reduce the number of hierarchies that has been created by the Minister of Education now?
No,
I mean,
so far
quickly
as
give
the
1 minute of time.
quality is Yeah, sorry. So far as the quality is concerned, I'm much concerned and I'm much favor about the accreditation and ranking system. Even in Rajasthan itself, in 2019 February, our honorable CM announced one program, annual auditing program, and it was just to means annual auditing and means academic auditing, especially of all government colleges every year, so that we can improvise their their product their capacity, their we can improvise their productivity, we can improvise their overall overall situation. So this was one program. So I feel that annual even this assessment or accreditation should be, and on that basis ranking must be adopted in order to improvise the overall higher educational system in our country.
Thank you, Dr. Bhardwaj. So, Dr. Gupta, Dr. Sanjay Gupta. So, what is your viewpoint on this?
I think these are basic tools which are very important in case you wish to ensure a minimum standard of education. Where they begin to lose the importance is if you go beyond the basic. So if you're looking at institutions of excellence who are, beyond the basics, then it becomes merely, about gaming the system. So this is something which one has to look for and not become too dependent on these things. But I think these tools, otherwise, if you are to, for a government to ensure that throughout the country, if one has to manage and ensure minimum standards, minimum system of governance, minimum adherence to quality, then these are very good systems.
But how do you compare accreditation and ranking? Do you think there's an overlap to it, or they are just two different?
No, see, ranking is something which is perpetual, which means it's a dynamic system which keeps on changing every year, every month, every day, because people are competing against each other. Accreditation would be to reach a certain minimum standard, right? So that would be a much slower process than dynamic ranking systems. So they are two different things.
Okay. Dr. Prakash Honwad, so what are your viewpoints on accreditation and ranking?
I'm sorry. Yeah. See, it's important to have both because the criteria are different. Rankings are something easy for your stakeholders to follow. Accreditations are more detailed. Regulators also have their own role to play. However, when the criteria of all these three are, as long as they are same, they will work in tandem and they will really work to your benefit. Problem comes when each one has a different criteria and their criteria are, at loggerheads to each other. Accreditations look for excellence. Excellence calls for autonomy. Regulators work against that autonomy, and that is where problems start happening. And rankings have their own system. People, it's outside this purview of accreditation and regulations. Rankings will remain there. I mean, even if you don't have ranking, if you don't give any credit to ranking, everybody will form a group and rank themselves within the group. So rankings are something which I will not talk too much about it, except for a few rankings which are world renowned, and maybe the world has consensus on the criteria used by those rankings. But accreditation and regulation, if they work hand in hand, that would be wonderful. And That's where I stand, and their purpose cannot be at
So thank you.
loggerheads.
So Dr. Isaac, so do you think that we should follow our own NRF ranking system, or should we say that we should pursue Times Higher Education ranking or somebody to come to India and do their ranking instead of just reinventing the wheel once again? So what do you think? There should be India-centric ranking, or we should become part of the global rankings?
I think I'll answer the first question which you asked, is that whether, see, we have been focusing more on regulation rather than on accreditation and ranking. So now the focus will slowly get shifted from regulation to accreditation and ranking. So regulation will stop. We'll have to stop, because the moment you achieve a minimum level by the accreditation process, your regulatory Raj will end. But whether you require an NIRF or whether you should go in for a Times Higher Education, right at the moment, if you go by the standards of the Times Higher Education or the other world rankings like QS or whatever it is, see, there is a more focus is on research and internationalization. Whereas that we have got to reach to that level, and probably NIRF will help us to reach to that level slowly, so that, later at some point of time, probably NIRF will become the global ranking rather than the Times Higher Education ranking. We should work towards that rather than the question of Times Higher Education coming to India. Why not NIRF spread its wing to the, by changing the name? Why should we spread our wings to the whole world?
Thank you. It's a great thought. What do we think about it, Dr. Bose? That what is happening in UAE? There's a ranking system. Is there a ranking system in UAE, and do we follow accreditation
there's a ranking system in the UAE, but that is mostly not for the universities, because there are many universities from many countries they are having here. From Australia, the universities from Canada, from Russia, from US, from UK, all countries are here. So that is difficult to compare all the universities in that way. But the way is that I'm telling you what I see. Ranking and the accreditation, both the things are very much interrelated, like Sir said. And the point is that some of the important criteria for the accreditation and the ranking, like research and development, like internationalization, like the student-teacher ratio, like the diversity, all these things are very important. Those are the part of the accreditation also and the ranking also. Okay. And what I'm telling you, rather than going for the NRIF type of ranking, we should go to a type of ranking which is followed in many other countries also. In Australia also they have, in Singapore also they have. They call it, say, the platinum category universities, gold category universities, like this. Okay, so that is not based on 1 year performance. That is based on consistency and some other things. Okay, like that, say, for last years and 3 years and 4 years, what the university is doing on so many parameters, and they are doing. And after that, they have been decided by the platinum ranking. And the platinum ranking means when the private sector or other say stakeholders, they are going to invest in research and development or other things, they will be definitely picking up these kind of things. Like National University of Singapore in any US, they are the platinum level ranking actually, and also the ranking very high in the Times ranking. Like say in UK, like say the University of Oxford, Cambridge, these are the high top platinum level ranking, like this. Say this kind of thing we can be doing, this can be done. And also I'm telling you, as states that rather than bringing the Times ranking or other ranking to our individual countries, we should develop our ranking system in our way, which is more suitable to our environment, suitable to our requirement. Okay, because maybe one university, the Times ranking is globally top 10 ranked university. Absolutely fine, no doubt about that. Say Cornell University is having some ranking. Okay, we cannot doubt about the ranking. But the other thing is this: say that does not mean that we have to follow blindly their system and their ranking. What we can do, options can be kept open and can be innovative and continuous basis we can improve, like that.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. Thank you everyone for being part of this wonderful discussion, and I think I thoroughly enjoyed the discussion with you all. And I can tell you that at Lovely Professional University also we do a lot of things that all of you are sharing, and I think the thought at my end or my university end is no different from anybody's, and I'm glad that discussion has touched upon all the various topics on accreditation as well as on the public-private partnership. So thank you all for joining in, and we look forward.
Thank you.
We look forward that next time we meet again, probably face to face, then to be in a virtual world. and we get a chance to have a cup of coffee or tea together.
Sure.
So with this
We'll
thing,
have.
thank you everyone, and I
Thank
hope
you.
all the audience who have been watching this particular discussion enjoyed this discussion. If you have any questions, please feel free to email it to or chat, put it in the chat, and we will the team will revert back separately. Thank you everyone for a wonderful time spent.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.